latest headlines from today and analyze with our guest this morning. I'm Ayo Mairo Ese.
And I am Valentine Ohu.
And joining us this morning, we have Adenike Oyetunde. Good morning, Adenike.
Good morning, Ayo, and good morning, Valentine.
Why? The smile's too much for you.
Yay! Today's my dad's birthday.
Oh, happy
so
birthday to your
good.
dad.
Yes, happy birthday, Adelani Olalere Oyetunde. He's 75 today, and I want to say I love you, and I really do genuinely love you.
So go check out
that's
Adenike
great.
Oyetunde on Instagram.
Instagram
and you
is
can see.
buzzing.
Thank you very much. The videos are the pictures are so good.
Yes,
Man,
very
she just
lovely.
took her law school picture.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
How
How
many
many
years
years
after?
later?
All right.
Funmi, are you allowed this happen?
I don't have mine.
Well, they need no introduction. You've heard their voices already. Funmi Odude at Funmi Odude.
Good morning, Ayo. Good
Morning.
morning. And happy birthday, Mr. Oyetunde. Can we say we love you too? We love you too.
Yes, we do.
And Ugo Dre is here as well. Good morning,
Good
Ugo.
morning.
All right. So Thursday is fast becoming one of my favorite days because then we have gender parity. But we move on to let you know how you can be part of the conversation this morning.
Join us on WhatsApp. Send messages to 0809-444-0981. That is the WhatsApp number. And you can tweet at smooth981fm with the hashtag freshlypressed981. We're streaming live on YouTube. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/smooth981fm Lagos. Our first story is from the Guardian newspaper. I think travelers were stranded as Nigeria suddenly shuts down Seme Border. There were talks by authorities regarding this move, saying yesterday we touched on a story that was on one of the papers saying that some forces were sent to strategic points around Nigeria and that people shouldn't be alarmed by the movement.
Okay. I did not listen yesterday, so I think I missed that out.
Yeah.
Well, the reports, and it started, I remember Twitter where a number of people started to post out pictures and videos saying that they were at the Seme Border and that it had been shut down. And the notion was, hey, we didn't have any prior notice and all of that. Well, an immigration official who pled anonymity confirmed that all land borders across the country were closed, which was an order from the federal government. And he says that it was a presidential order and that it may last for the next 3 days. Now, the Guardian also learned that the closure occurred as Nigeria is currently deploying an operation named Border Green for a period of 28 days. And going to what Valentine said, they say that the mission is that the police, immigration, army, customs, and intelligence forces will verify the good execution of the injunctions concerning the prohibition of exported goods, and also to focus on the prohibition of fraudulent exit of petroleum products, the fight against the importation of second-hand vehicles, the fight against the importation of rice, and certain prohibited products for importation by land. So this is just one of the moves. And I really do not know. Let's hope that it doesn't take so long, because as we know, day-to-day activities, daily, the economic repercussion of what that will be. Well, this is the ones that are not banned, and all of it. But I remember that Cheta would always talk about the illegal importation of vehicles and how that has caused a ripple effect on the pricing of vehicles that are in Nigeria. But this is what it is. So like Valentine said, if you are around or you see your family and friends send you messages or you've been expecting some people to come from out of the country by land, please just check on them and tell them that, well, in 3 days or so, it should be over.
I'm also concerned to find out if there's a move, or rather, as part of this measure, there's plan to implement some sort of security check on the human movements,
well,
not necessarily just the products.
Sorry. The presupposition is that for us to find some fraudulent products, we may have to check individuals. So we know that once a bus or a car, whatever it is, gets to the border, they will tell all the humans in the car to highlight and then check everybody, what you have here, what you have here, because we know that even the rice importation was an issue at some certain point. And I remember that even fabric, I remember that 3-4 years ago, people had to literally put the fabric in their personal belongings just to disguise, and then the operatives will find it and then still seize them. So yes, they will check, but I hope that they do it well.
Thank you, Adenike. Funmi, this next story is for you from the Punch newspaper. Military probes Wadume's confession, invites police. The story we carried the developing story yesterday from the re-arrest of the kidnapped kingpin who allegedly was set free by soldiers who shot 3 policemen. The policemen are not coming back, unfortunately. The lives have been lost. Investigation has commenced with a joint investigative panel set up by Defense Headquarters looking into this to probe the killings of these 3 policemen in Taraba State. But it seems that the army is questioning the video that was released by police on Twitter. Your thoughts?
Okay, yes. So there is a video released by the police on their Twitter handle where the suspected kidnap kingpin, he's said to have said in Hausa language that the police came to arrest me. When they arrested me, the soldiers chased them and opened fire. From there, the soldiers took me to their headquarters, cut off my handcuffs, and released me. And naturally, the army would be very wary about this kind of thing. It will be important for us to get to the root of the identity of soldiers involved, and to the reason why it was done. I mean, this was obviously not a good deed for the weak kind of thing. There is some sort of profiting going on somewhere in the midst of this. So it's about getting to the root, to the very, very bottom of it. As to a joint investigation, while the security forces must work together, this is a case strictly for the police. The army doesn't have a hold on stopping the police from doing what they believe that they should do. And this is why I'm a bit wary about the release of this kind of confessional video on social media.
What could have been the purpose to justify that release to the public?
Exactly. In the course of investigation, I'm of the opinion that important documents or what have you that you would use during your prosecution should be kept until you have completed the investigation. Release it in the right fora, which is when you prosecuting the man. For it's good to inform the public about what's going on. Yeah, a statement is fine. A statement saying that we have recaptured this man, he's giving us information. But when you begin to release this kind of, I believe, sensitive information regarding your prosecution, regarding your investigation, then you jeopardize a lot of things. You jeopardize interference. You jeopardize all manner of people trying to interfere with your investigation. So this is the kind of information that a simple statement would have sufficed. The right place to have played this video would have been while prosecuting the man, or when we have even gotten the identity of the soldiers involved. I mean, you've already leaked a video saying that yes, they are soldiers. We haven't not caught the extent of the involvement of the officers up the ladder of the chain of command and all of that. So I think it was actually premature for them to have done this. Informing us by a simple statement would have been very okay.
Not to stretch this, but seeing that the Joint Investigative Panel constitutes the police, the Army, Navy, Air Force, DSS, and the Defense Intelligence Agency, one would hope or expect that there will be cross-referencing evidences that will be put forward. That also includes this video. I'm wondering what the supposed intent will be for this release. This is just a bit of evidence.
Yeah, but in this instance, the police is investigating officers of the army. They can't be joint. That kind of joint investigation is not going to produce what we think should be the outcome of it. This is the police investigation. The army.
Interesting.
Right. Let's take some comments. Solomon from Akoka says, so the government is under the illusion that those who smuggle these products do so through the official borders. I shake my head.
Ugo Dre says, good morning, guys. I support the release of the video because soon powers that be would want to sweep this under the carpet. But Funmi saying it does more harm than good. Next story from Premium Times. This for you, Ugo. 537.3 mn debt. There's no surprise that it's for you, right? As the court tells that's the Asset Management Corporation of Nigeria to take over Donald Duke's Ikoyi home. That Donald Duke owed the government, alleged debt of 537 million, 334,000. boy. It's actually billion. But go into the story to let us know, because it seems like it's not just AMCON that's involved, as UBA named in this case.
Yeah, I mean, in Nigeria, when you owe this kind of money, big boy, you shouldn't really be worried. You know that they'll take care of you very well. The banks will give you all the attention you need. Serve you coffee, serve you biscuits. It's not like when you're owing, 100K or something. They're sending you all sorts of messages. And anyway, on a serious note, so this is just some of those assets that another one of those assets AMCON is likely going to take over. What worries me is that AMCON seems to be, kind of like a dumping ground now, where you dump, loans that are maybe bad loans. And in this case, this is probably just one of them. I was looking at AMCON's debt to CBN yesterday. As at May, it's over 5 trillion. So that's what AMCON is owing CBN. And these are loans that you have to pay one day. So either AMCON one day is able to sell all the properties that it's good to sell, or perhaps the CBN will pay money and just wiped up. I really don't know. But this is Ikoyi, so I'm kind of surprised, because this obviously should be a land that is very well secured. There are lands in Ikoyi that probably go for this much. So I think or about half of it, and I think it's something that it's just that the economy is pretty bad now, so you don't even have buyers these days for land like this. And typically, people who even buy products like this usually funded through bank loans. So this is just what it means. So most times when you see rich men, and you think they're really actually finance their bank loans. So it's not like somebody just has 100 or 200 million naira sitting in the bank account. Just very few people have that kind of money. Very, very few. So I'm not surprised to see loans like this also go bad, because when you take 300 million or 400 million to buy a house, I don't know whether it's
the property itself was used as collateral to secure
loan somewhere else. Exactly. So you use the property as collateral. The question now is, if you can actually sell that property and if it will have the same value. It has the same value. Probably in Ikoyi, depends on where it is in Ikoyi. I'm not sure which properties in Ikoyi this one is. Perhaps they can flip it and then use it to defray the loan. And then something else too, though, you don't have to be mindful of some of the loans as well include interest, that have accrued over the years. So this might not even be the original principal of the loan. So that is another argument entirely. But the worry for me though is that for them to be mentioning AMCON, then it means this is a loan that has been overdue for years, and it's like, look, we can't deal with this anymore. Let's just sell it to AMCON. And if you're selling a loan like this to AMCON, the bank is going to be taking a huge haircut. So I'm assuming that perhaps the bank have collected enough interest that they're saying, look, let's just dump this to AMCON.
Yeah, but it seems like the shaving won't get the required results, because they want the whole hair. Asking to take possession of the accounts of listed.
That would be a tough sell.
All right. Okay.
Except they have
Interesting. Next story for Adenike. Premium Times has this one. Buhari creates 5 new federal ministries. Yay! Yesterday, this was announced alongside the list of full ministers and their portfolios. I'd allow you go through this story. Especially
I wanted to ask Ugo why he chuckled. Okay.
Exclamation and celebration.
Yeah.
So the new ministries are essentially humanitarian affairs, disaster management, social development, police affairs, special duties, and international affairs, aviation and power.
Didn't we used to have special duties at this one?
And aviation as well.
And
kind of like
so
back to life.
Yeah, so I feel like the ones that are new, humanitarian and disaster management. So yeah, social media. All right. Names. I feel very strongly that a name that a lot of people waited to look out for so long, and the moment we noticed he wasn't there, celebration and all of that. But for a Fashola, for instance, he was now left with the works and housing, and power had been taken out. For aviation and transportation, it had now been separated. I had this Erica who used to interpret as, or whatever that word is. For Amici is now strictly for aviation and a few others. Buhari still maintains his as the petroleum minister with his state as Timi Priscilla. And I know
that the former governor of the state.
You can be adding where they were working. And a number of people retained their their jobs or portfolio. Mohammed Bello, Federal Capital Territory, Adamu Education. I'm still wondering why. Christian Gige, Labor and Employment, Geoffrey Onyema, Foreign Affairs. And I remember downstairs asking from, where is NLMA? His name isn't here. Yes.
His job
Adebayo, who used to be the governor of, is it Ikiti or one of them?
It was Ikiti.
I'm sure in NLMA I was just tired. You will come and carry your issue. Suleiman Adamo returns as the Minister of Water Resources, while Zainab Ahmed is back at the Ministry of Finance, Budget and National Planning, and there was also some tweaking there. Ikechukwu Oga is a fresh person, the Minister of State for Mines and Steel and Development. And of interest is the pairing that they did for God's Will and Fabio and
very strange here.
Yeah, we're gonna just see how that is gonna turn. So
I wish you could say your thoughts exactly.
No. It's let me help you say. Someone sent a comment, so let's hear from the people. It's not from the studio. It's not Smooth FM views, but it was now you didn't put a name there, but it was the first person to send in a comment even before we started to read the messages out. But please, if you sent a message earlier on, kindly put your name there.
Okay. Lai Mohammed retains was retained in the Ministry of Information and Culture, and Obonaya Onu also in the Ministry of Science and Technology. I feel like those are the ones that were retained, and with a few.
Yeah.
Because the president likes it.
I'm reading what Premium Times reported, please. There was one here. I think the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development is headed by one person, Sadia Omar from Zamfara State, while the Ministry of Special Duties and International Affairs is headed by George Akume from Benue State. There was one here. Okay, Mamora, who is from Lagos State, is now the Minister of State for Health, and Mohammed Abdullahi, State for Science and Technology. And yes, Ogbeni Rauf Aregbesola is now the Minister of Interior, and Sunday Dari is Youth and Sports Development. That's the ministry. And yes, there's a woman, Pauline Talling, I think she used to be Deputy Governor
of Plateau State.
She's now the Minister of Women's Affairs. Where I can't think. Sharon's State for Environment.
Sorry, just a minute. Nika, can I remember a conversation we had here? I think when the new Senate president wanted to pick his spokesperson, and we had this conversation around when you join the government, what can happen. This is precisely what has happened.
Normal join or join with
when you join the government, you the person that you were before, you have to sort of reform the person. And so that is why we now have somebody that once prosecuted who will now be the person he will report to for corruption. And then I can't even begin to imagine. I'm sure social media will help dig out all the things he said about his new boss.
But I feel like that's another beauty of situations like this, where you would see, honestly, if they can actually work in their capacities as both minister and minister of state. So it shouldn't clash in any way, except Keyamo is trying to be finicky or somebody's trying to be finicky. If at any point in time they feel like they should be, I think either one of them should say, you know what, I want to leave this place. But that is not an attitude we're used to in this part of the world. So we're watching keenly, particularly Godswin Akpabio and Festus Keyamo. Do not fold your hands. Not my own hand.
I think it will be very interesting. That was the first comment actually we got with regards to the fact that he had once persecuted him, now he'll be reporting to him. We have a comment from Twitter from earlier on.
Dakwa Olua says, closing land borders without any warning shows just how serious this government is.
He wants to sneeze.
And Senfa just says, good morning to you all. Please, I would appreciate if I'm wrong to be brought on track. Like most of the ministerial nominees, ex-governors who have issues of misappropriation of funds. Now, what's our faith as Nigerians?
They're used to.
Maybe we should have sent a petition to your representative in the House when they were being screened.
Ike Oyetunde says, why won't Buhari retain petroleum minister when he's not seen all in the north? Interesting.
There's this gist as well about social media, of course, about him, getting portfolios to some very, close friends. Have you seen that as well?
No, but he mentioned it.
There's also been a lot of not gist around the portfolios.
So the interesting thing that sometimes we forget is the president is very clear on what he wants to do.
I'm glad I reported. I read what
he had said it when he started his new administration. He said he was going to involve people he knows.
He was familiar with.
Yeah,
Yes,
so that's why I
so
wonder why
you-
people are surprised. Like, why are you so surprised?
Dude has said what he's always wanted to
Exactly.
do. So.
All right.
That's it.
Thank you very much, Adenike, for telling us what premium said. And thank you, Ugo and Funmi, for your additions. All right, let's move on to what's going on in Ibadan. So, proposed settlement 21 Ibadan kings may drop crowns. Ugo, can you tell us what's going on there and the conclusion?
It's even unfortunate that things like this kind of like,
Make
news
the
in paper.
Yeah.
Of all the problems we have in this country, it's to come and start talking about chieftaincy titles and kings and all.
It can cause EU.
I know. Anyway, I think that this story, that this unfortunate, story that started in 2017, where the former governor just woke up one day and decided that he was going to, crown 21 kings. Sounds like the name of a movie.
Yeah.
21 kings has finally come to an end because the new governor is saying, look, that he's not going to appeal this case because I think a year, some months later, the courts notified it and said it was illegal. My worry, though, is we've started seeing cases of governors basically interfering in chieftaincy titles. In installing kings, traditional rulers.
Yes.
We saw that in Canaan, and the idea around democracy is not for governors to come and start infringing on our traditional affairs, because before democracy we've always had kings and all that. These are institutions on their own. So democracy is just basically giving power to the people, right? Not necessarily to kings, but then you have to respect that institution. So I think that's something that the government really needs to look at clearly. Maybe the National Assembly should look at this, and interference is getting too much. Yeah, because these are institutions that have been there before Nigeria was even created. So how do you just come in maybe because you have issues with the major, I think he called one of them imperial king, and then you just go in there and start to create all sorts of other councils just so that you can reduce the powers of the king. I think it is wrong. I think that our forefathers, if I can refer to that, won't forgive them for things like this. But I think, as Nigerians, something that we really have to look into. National Assembly has to come in and has to look, this has to stop. And if there's any kind of ambiguity around laws, then let's just strengthen it and make it very clear that, look, you just can't go and appoint kings yourself or create titles. Let what is there already be there. That's how it is. The only thing you're supposed to do is just oversee maybe appointment or selection of kings and ensure that it goes through the right traditional process and what have you, and make sure that kings are not powers themselves. When I say powers themselves, maybe have their own military or police or things like that, but allow what is traditional to remain as traditional. That's just my own take. But I'm happy the court is trying to settle this.
Right.
And then the new governor has said
I was going to say the new governor has a huge role to play.
he said he's not going to appeal, so 21 kings, sorry.
Isn't it interesting that we haven't heard anything similar to this happening in Edo State?
Go and try it, man. Go try it, man.
All right, let's quickly go on to another, would I say good news? Bittersweet. Soldier who killed motorcyclist over 100 naira in Abia has been dismissed. Funmi, Vanguard newspaper has it that the Nigerian Army has dismissed Lance Corporal Ajayi Johnson, who was accused of killing an Okada rider who's named Chimobi Nwaugu at his community in Kereke Ngwa in Obingwa local government area of Abia State.
Okay, yeah, so the army has done its own part. It has conducted investigations and tried the suspect in line with their own regulations and have dismissed him. They have now subsequently handed him over to the Abia State Police Command for prosecution, criminal prosecution, and that's where we are. So yes, this is good. And can I just throw it out there? I think most Nigerians don't know that there are actually a number of policemen that have been charged with murder with respect to activities they carried out in the course of their duties, and have actually been found guilty and sentenced accordingly. So this attitude of they get away with it, well, maybe not as many as should have been prosecuted been prosecuted, but they have indeed been a number of prosecution. And while on the, I don't know what the army, the guy used, but does anybody else have a problem when you see policemen with their and all you can see that they're doing is controlling traffic, and they have their yes. I mean, we need to discuss that. It's strange. very,
It's
unsafe.
interesting you ask that question because I've wondered the same thing. I've wondered first, it's a no-brainer to check the cost of that sort of arm, the rifle, as against a small arm like a pistol and everything. I mean, isn't it more convenient to carry it in a strap?
It's very unsafe.
In a country where we do not have, freedom of ownership of arms or small arms like as much as other countries, is it necessary?
I find it very, very unnecessary.
I think that what even bothers me the most is when I look at the guns that they carry. They are so old. Some of them have had to use rope and they're holding them. And I'm wondering how safe is it that there will not be an accidental discharge of some sort.
Another aspect I'd like you to touch on very quickly are plainclothes policemen with guns. The reason I'm saying, because they're in inner streets.
Yes.
I mean, from the part I live in a place where you find them on the streets and then they're not
so
wearing a uniform.
Yes, and so you can't tell whether this is an armed robber or this is a policeman. And I don't think, I don't know, I may not have all the information, but it's not like they're scouting or they're, waiting for a criminal, they're following the paper. They're just normal patrol.
Yes, they're checking cars. They're stopping. Why should I stop for a plainclothes man? A man who is not wearing a uniform, no ID, and has a gun? I think it's something that's
the situation were different. Wouldn't you feel?
Well, that's why we say
be as apprehensive.
In other situations, it might not be a strange sight, but broad daylight, when all you're doing is checking my car papers.
Yes. All right. Thank you very much, Funmi. I'll come back to you, Ugo, on this one. Nigeria begin implementation for ARCC's WPV, so on polio free certification. So the federal government yesterday marked 3 years without a wild polio virus WPV case in the country and expressed confidence that by March 2020, finally Nigeria will be certified as polio free. How confident are we that we're going to achieve that March 2020 deadline?
Cautiously confident, if I can use that word, because I think there's been times in the past when we've declared ourselves polio free and then we just fall back into that hole that we never always want to be in. Polio has been with us for years now, and I think that Nigeria, Afghanistan, and one other country are probably only 3 countries where I think Pakistan, where you still have polio. So it's actually a shame that in Africa we're just the only country that still have cases of polio. So it's good to hear that we're going 3 years straight without polio. So according to the report, the next 6 months is very critical for us. So we need to go through the next 6 months polio free, and then the WHO can declare Nigeria completely polio free nation. And apart from the fact that this is good news and things that we should be happy about, a lot has gone into this. A lot of money is spent on polio annually, eradication from the government and donor agencies. Like I know the Bill and Melinda Gates spend a whole lot on polio. At some point, I was wondering whether this is some kind of deal for people like polio inject so that you can just get some kind of polio so the money can continue to flow. The report says the Buhari government alone has spent 9.8 billion just trying to eradicate polio alone. So it cost us a lot of money, and it's money that we probably should direct into other things. So let's be hopeful and hope that by this time next year, Nigeria is declared completely polio free.
And forever and ever, the church say yes. All right. Okay, let's take some comments. We have to go. Unfortunately, our time is fast spent, so we just have time for comments.
Mr. C from Lekki says, what's the difference between Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Ministry of Special Duties and International Affairs? From my little knowledge, I know that Foreign Affairs,
it's foreign.
Deals with staffing, recruitment, training, especially with people dispatched to some of these locations.
Earlier on, someone had asked about the Ministry for Disasters and NEMA. So what's in terms of duplication of duties and responsibilities?
NEMA needs more help.
Asking why we always resort to the absurd. But St. Faja says, good morning to the crew and happy birthday to your dad. We've taken that before. Thank you very much. Mr. Chika Gina says, from Marina, a critical look at the Buhari's ministerial list and the portfolio is an indication that the country will likely be on autopilot in the next 4 years. Still wonder why the likes of Malami, Adamu Mungige, and Buhari still made it to the list. As for me, Aregbe Shola would have performed best